Welcome back to a brand new episode of Stoop Stories. I know that we've been gone for a while, but this episode is definitely worth the wait. For any new listeners, I just wanted to say that we are on social, on Instagram at Stoop Stories Pod, Facebook, Stoop Stories Podcast, and we also film all of our podcasts on the Southwind YouTube channel. Just search Southwind in YouTube and you'll find us. And we also have a new set here in the studio, so if you are watching the podcast, I hope you enjoy the new look. And that's all I got. Welcome back to Stoop Stories.
Hey, welcome back to Stoop Stories. We've missed everybody. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Without a doubt. Too long.
Glad to get back on the, or I guess get off the stoop with my brother LaDrew Murrell in our new studio, Southwind HQ.
Yes, this
courtesy
is nice.
of our brother. If you know him, you love him, Nathan Mize. So thanks, Nathan. Appreciate the new setup.
And I will say this: I'm interested to hear what's on your mind today and where you're going to take this podcast.
Yeah, so over the last few weeks, we have started writing a weekly email to our team. And the first email we sent out was regarding complacency. And the reason we picked that email is because, full disclosure, we have lots of success here at Southwind. And traditionally, when you think of people who have success, you don't think of complacency. Complacency is usually somebody that you consider who's not active, not moving forward, that's status quo.
Just say it. A loser.
Just moving forward. They call it stasis, inactivity. But, I would tell you that from my experience, complacency happens in times when you're winning and times when you're losing. And, obviously we addressed some of the stuff in the email, but since most of the folks that watch or listen to this podcast don't get the opportunity to read the email, I felt like we would be doing a disservice to the loyal followers of the show.
For sure.
For not covering this, because I think it's such an important part of life and something that if you understand, you can recognize it and then pull yourself out of it.
Without a doubt.
So let's kick it to you. You're 2 years and change here at Southwind, right?
Correct.
And you've had a ton of success. Now own a few businesses in the company, and you've had lots of success. And so I would love to hear from you. Have you ever felt complacent while you've been here?
I do. And complacency, when you're in maybe at your peak, we'll call it, or you are in a high performance environment such as Southwind, you probably are going to be working hard consistently, right? And I remember vividly, it was last year, one of my yearly goals was to read 36 books. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And, I wanted 36 different books, and I just had to do it. You know why? Because I wrote it down at the beginning of the year. And one of the ways complacency kicks me in the ass, especially when I think I'm doing a good job, is by way of not analyzing the plan and course correcting to do the most impactful thing. And I found out until you redirected me, one, I never changed my plan. I made this plan at the beginning of the year. Over time, things change, which also means you might need to change your plan. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, that's lacking the corrective action that's needed in order for you to get to where you really want to go. And I remember that day, you basically, in a nutshell, told me, I stick to the plan too much. Just because I made a plan doesn't mean it's the plan to just carry through to the end. Mm-hmm. And when you had said that, I'm like, man, you're totally right, because in approach to reading 36 books a year, I was just like knocking down information, but not capturing everything I needed to capture. Yeah. I was reading it to say, hey, guess what?
I read a book.
And at the end of the year, I want to say I read 36. And guess who would have cared about that?
You.
That's it. Guess who else would have known about it?
Nobody. Unless you told them.
Exactly. And that's probably, hey, look what I did, which is an ego thing.
Self-server.
Self-server, right? And, so for me, when you're winning, complacency comes by not thinking, outside of the box. What got you here will never get you there. Yeah. So doing the same plan over and over and over will not work once you've achieved a certain level of success. That's why that hunger still has to be within, so that you can innovate, evaluate the plan, and find an even better way, which is why I say there's always good, better, and best.
Let me add this too, because we're talking about being in a high-performance environment and then like feeling complacent inside of it. And I'll just I want to alert people on how this manifests in everyday life, and you would see it, in your favorite sports teams. And so success breeds complacency, and here's how it works. You have a really good quarterback, and he got a great contract. Normally, they say, is there going to be a letdown year? And this is how it works. He's worked really hard, he got what he wants, and then blah, I do nothing. And every human being can experience that to some extent, where they've worked really hard for something, they've achieved what they wanted to achieve, and they struggle to find the next goal. And they come into a period of time which is inactivity. You struggle to find a new goal, you struggle to put forth enough effort to achieve a goal, and you're sitting there feeling kind of empty. Maybe you got everything that you wanted and you can't see the vision past what you originally desired. So this happens all the time. It happens in the sports world, happens in the business world. It happens when a company in Southwind has their best month ever. We frequently see companies have their best month ever and then have a slow start.
Without a doubt.
The next 10 days. And I think what causes that is we're so attached to achieving a goal, we forget about the big picture. And I want us to, help everybody here that's listening or watching us, on the podcast, understand that vision can't be finite. It has to be infinite. So then you never actually achieve your goal, and that's one way to remove yourself from, hitting something and then falling off, if you will.
Yeah, so for the matter of strategy, what's an infinite vision that you have that will keep you off of the complacency lane?
Yeah, when I think about myself and what I set to accomplish each day, and it really comes in the form of coaching and helping others reach their full potential. That's an infinite goal, and I can actually fulfill my goal, my vision every single day, regardless of what the revenue says, regardless of how much profit we made, regardless of where I am, which location I'm visiting, or if I'm, hanging out with my family. Trying to help people reach their full potential carries me, and as long as that's a goal that I have, it is infinite, because I'll never run out of people, hopefully, that I can influence and help them get to where they want to go, or where they can go, what's possible for them.
Yeah, that's really good. And the complacency train is cyclical, rather. You have success, you become complacent, and then you fail because of that complacency.
Yes, that's right.
So it pulls you back in. So
they say success is a lagging indicator, meaning it takes lots of work ahead of time, and then you achieve success. So if you quit working at the time you achieve success, you're likely going to fail again.
Without a doubt.
And so as human beings, we work this cycle where all of a sudden we're working, we win, and then we stop working, and then we lose. And then we say, damn it, I don't like to lose. Yeah. Work, I win, and then I do it again. How do you stop from staying on that circle?
Well, as you were kind of describing that, I'm picturing, my strategy is to mind shift. And I tell myself to do it all the time. I'm very rigorous in my approach to reaching my goals. And when you do that, you get tired. And when I get tired, I don't know if anyone else can relate to this. When I get tired, I tell myself that I deserve a break.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the complacency train right there. Hey, and that's the buying of the bullshit.
Yeah.
Hey, LaDrew, it's Sunday, man.
Yeah.
Come on, let's just sleep in a little bit. You deserve a break. You've been busting your ass, man.
That's a symptom of complacency.
Without a doubt.
Buying the bullshit.
Yeah.
So keep buying. Let's hear you buy your bullshit. How do you do it?
Oh, shit. I actually bought it this Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
I slept till 7.
Shame on you.
Yeah, and so here's the sad here's the sad part. Everyone knows my strategy. I've said it 1,000 times. Where do I put my phone in
the bathroom? In the bathroom.
So guess what I did on Sunday?
Put that thing Saturday night. You put that thing on right next to your nightstand.
Unfortunately, I wish I can say I did that. I put it in the bathroom. So when I snoozed it, I had to get up and take the walk of shame back to the.
What
bed.
were you telling yourself as you hit snooze?
You just had a baby, G. Relax. You deserve it, man.
Yeah.
You deserve this. Come on, man. You've been at it. You were at the hospital for a week.
Yeah. You need this.
You need this. You need me. Just sleep in, man.
Yes, that is definitely a way to do it. I do probably
I
believe you probably did need the sleep though.
I probably did, but
fair enough.
Yeah, you can always take a nap, man. Like somebody was getting better, and in order to get what I want out of life, I haven't done yet.
Yeah, it wasn't you getting better at that moment.
No,
right
it wasn't
there.
me.
Here's where I see failure. All right, like sleeping in when you choose to sleep in is totally acceptable.
For sure.
If Saturday night I said, you know what, I'm sleeping in. I'm sleeping till 7 tomorrow. Matter of fact, I might even sleep till 8. And I do that, okay. But if I say, hey, look, I'm waking up at 5.
That's it.
And then I choose not to do what I said I was going to do.
That lacks integrity.
That's where failure creeps in.
I felt bad, man.
So I can understand that.
My plan said 6. If my plan would have said 7, I would have felt okay with myself.
As well you should.
Yeah, man.
And that just kind of goes to the achievement of success. And the definition we've talked about here, achieving success, is simple. It's just doing what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
And it's not driving a Maserati.
Well, I would say that most people don't believe they're complacent. And I think that's part of the trap, when you...
Well, that's buying your own bullshit.
Without a doubt.
Right.
Which is the cheapest thing on the planet to buy, by the way. I've bought so much bullshit in my life, and I know it because I bought it. You can actually return it, just like you can return... Have you ever, returned something at the store, some clothes that you bought and you didn't like and you returned it? You can return the bullshit that you buy. So, great news to everybody listening. The bullshit that you bought today, you can return it. So, for example, on Sunday when I bought my own bullshit and went back to bed and woke up at 7, I was so disappointed in myself. I went into overdrive. I got up, I ran a mile. I did my reading, I did my preparations, I did all this stuff, and then before noon, I was feeling good about myself again because of what I had accomplished. Okay, so I returned the bullshit that I bought.
Yeah. So let's keep buying. Let's keep talking about how we buy our own bullshit, because I think that people need to hear this.
Oh man,
what's another way that we would buy our own bullshit?
Oh man, it was just the elements that caused me to fail.
Yeah,
maybe the customer base was. Whatever the case may be, but it wasn't me.
No, yeah, it wasn't you.
No, it was slippery outside.
Yeah, well, if so and so would have done their job, we would have won.
Yes, it was him.
It was him.
The spreadsheet wasn't filled out.
No.
I couldn't have done my part because he didn't do his part.
Exactly.
The customer, man, there was something wrong with them, not me. I'm me at the end of the day.
Yeah, my boss is, he's just, he expects me to do I don't know how he expects me to do all this. I know I agreed to it, but I can't, it's unrealistic.
Yeah, that's somebody else, man.
Yeah.
That's somebody else.
Yeah, so I think that there's frequent ways that we buy our own bullshit in life, and what it really gets us is exactly that. Shit, nothing.
Oh, a good one?
You get nothing.
People make diets all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Josh called me out to dinner. I haven't seen Josh in forever.
Yes.
Buying of the bullshit. Haven't seen him in a while. Let's go out and have a couple drinks, eat some pasta, high carbs, and gotta love the bread.
Oh, yeah,
need the bread and the oil too. Need it. Yeah. But if you just said you were going on a diet, it's inexcusable.
Yeah, I mean, self-discipline, really, at the end of the day, and that's really hard to come by. Another way you buy your own bullshit, everybody sets a goal. And even after you achieve a goal, you think, well, I achieved the goal, so I can have a cheat day.
Without a doubt.
And then you revert back to the original standpoint.
So let's talk about, once complacency pulls you back into a place where you don't want to be, ultimately we'll call it failure.
Yeah.
You start doubting yourself.
Yes.
Tell us how or maybe a time where you doubted yourself and how'd you pull yourself out, or maybe the strategy that you use to ensure that self-doubt doesn't keep you down very long.
Yeah, I think it's tough to just pick one thing. I think on a regular basis, self-doubt creeps in, and I think when we talk about complacency, what we really want to do is start developing skills to combat it. Because these things are normal human inclinations.
Yeah.
Buying your own bullshit is normal. Actually, everybody does it.
Yeah.
And same with self-doubt. Everybody has it. And you have to, as we talk through these concepts, what we really want to start thinking about is how do we beat self-doubt?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we have it, but then not listen to it and go ahead and go about our business and achieve what we set out to achieve? So just to answer the question, which one time, just recently, where we talk about self-doubt. Think of, I mean, we send these emails every Sunday, and I think to myself, man, maybe these emails are too long. Maybe nobody's reading the emails. Maybe they don't even care to get the information. Is it even worth it for me to spend the hour and a half I spend building content to send it? Maybe I shouldn't even do that. Maybe I can use my time more effectively somewhere else. Maybe as a leader, they don't want to hear this from me.
You know, that's so encouraging. So even you have self-doubt.
Absolutely.
As the CEO of this organization. Right. So, you know, I would say it's more about finding a strategy to conquer that self-doubt versus listen to it. So what goal or what strategy do you put in place to conquer that self-doubt and send the email anyway?
Yeah, don't quit. That's the number one strategy of conquering self-doubt. Don't quit. I'm a human being, and we've had some success. But I know that I'm not right about everything. But I know that if I plan and I do the research and I decide that this is what we need to do, I make sure we do it. And at the end of the day, if we've done what I believed we needed to do and we did it the way I expected it to be done, and we lose, I can live with that.
Yep.
I think self-doubt becomes a problem when, you let it derail what you were trying to accomplish. So had I said, you know what, I'm not going to send the email. You know what, I decided after thinking about it, although I believe that this was a great idea and something to continue to create unity between us and our team and another channel and a bridge for us to walk over together, I don't believe that's really the case anymore. And I'm not going to send it. Because sometimes, like and here's a scenario, or I would give you. Sometimes you're in the gym and you're working hard and nobody sees it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you shoot off into the night and you get no response, but that doesn't mean it didn't make an impact. And so I think that a lot of times people look at real world things that happen as a response to what they did, and that's how they'll validate if it was successful or not. Did I get affirmations from lots of people? First email I sent out, we got lots of, everybody wrote back.
We love that.
Thank you, that was great.
Yeah.
The next one, it was fewer. The last one, you get even fewer. But then you get somebody on the side that'll reach out personally and say, man, that really meant something to me. And that's how you know it was worth it. And had you not gone through with it, you're unlikely to make that impact in that person's life. And so I think when you're dealing with self-doubt, go through it. Do what you set out to do. Understand that even sometimes doing something when it has a losing impact still created what we call an impression or a repetition that gets you closer to what you finally are, what your final destination is, what you're actually trying to accomplish. It's not always clear. A lot of times you can't even tell what you're doing until years down the road and you retrace your steps and you look back and you're like, man, thank God I did all of these things because it added up to what I'm getting to experience today.
Yeah, I love that story. So I'll give maybe the strategy for this episode. We've talked about being complacent. We've talked about self-doubt. At the end of the day, you only self-doubt when you buy your own bullshit. So I think as you're talking through that story and working hard and no one sees it, I'm getting a dad bod a little bit. So you've seen me. What am I eating for lunch every day these days?
Salads for lunch every day.
Yes. Do you know why I'm doing that?
So you get fat.
Yeah, I'm getting fat. I'm getting fat. So I've started running. Right, I said I ran on Sunday. I've started running, try to shed some of these LBs, and every time before I run, because I know I'm not very good at it right now, because obviously I have a dad bod, I set a goal in my mind, and I say before I start the run, I'm not stopping until I hit X landmark.
Yeah,
I won't stop running. And that's how you kill complacency. That's how you kill self-doubt. You become a person, one, that believes, this is the foundation, I believe that everything is possible all the time, every single day. Can you align with that?
Yes.
Okay, and because of that, I know I can set goals. And whatever goal I set, I know I can reach it. Okay, now obviously it's best to set attainable goals. So in the medium of this, example, on my run in the mornings, when I set the goal of the landmark, even though I'm out of shape a bit, is it possible that I don't stop jogging until I get there, even if it's a slow jog? I set one that's reasonable, and without a doubt, every time when I run, guess what I tell myself to do?
Don't quit.
Well, I wish. Quit.
Yeah.
Dude, no one's even out here.
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares? Just stop.
You're still
an okay
went
guy.
long enough today.
Yes. And I laugh every time, which is why I love running so much, because without fail, I tell myself to quit every single time. And I haven't gotten to the point where I'm a 5K type guy, but I would bet that every runner's body tells them to stop at some
Running,
point.
lifting weights, anything. How many people have walked in for a 30-minute weightlifting, or they're going to go work out for 30 minutes, and 15 minutes in they say, "Yeah, that's enough."
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Look, I got the mirror. I'm flexing right now.
I got a little sweat in. I'm ready to go. So, to me, it's set a goal every single day and quantify for yourself whether you won or lost, and you'll know if you're getting closer to where you want to be ultimately by the fact that you reached your goal every day.
Let's talk a little bit more about complacency before we finish here, because I think I just want to identify that complacency happens when you win and you lose, or you're losing.
Mm-hmm.
Both are important. If we're winning, sometimes we have complacency, and it comes in the form of creative block. You fail to create new ideas. You can no longer strategize like you once strategized.
Yes.
You fail to dig down deep and find out what the real solution is, and you lack the energy to actually bring it to fruition.
Can I put you on the spot here?
Yes, please.
So I've actually been wondering this, because what you've been sitting in the Sunday emails, I've even told my mom, I went to church today when I didn't, because I read your email.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's kind of, that's the best thing since sliced bread. You talk about creative block. When will you know when to either stop, switch it up, or whatever the case may be? Because to gather that information, that's hard already.
Yeah.
To compile it and put it together, that's going to test you. So complacency would say, yeah, it's been long enough, either stop, or you'll have creative block to where you've overdone it because you've never stopped doing it, and what got you here won't get you there. So what's your approach to not getting creative block?
Yeah, I think everything's done. There's a season for all things, and generally what happens is, for me as an executive in this company, I know I can only take us so far, and there'll be a time at some point where I ask a friend for help. And so when I'm writing or I'm thinking of concepts, so I know that this isn't going to happen soon, because I have 4 more concepts I want to go through, and so as I get to the final week I'll see if there's anything else that I believe I want to tell our team. And the truth is, there's always something I want to tell the team. I believe in what we're doing. I care about the impact that we make as an organization. I care about the people inside the organization. And I feel like we have a lot of young people that I can share information with. And I would tell you that as long as I feel that I have information to share, I'll give it. And we may be 30 years down the road, and I'm still sending out information. And here's why. So coming up, I grew up in Lenexa, and very middle class family. And then there wasn't really anybody to look up to, right? I didn't know anybody who was a CEO. I didn't know anybody like that. And so I didn't get firsthand information from people who were doing what I wanted to do.
Yep.
So I was always researching and reading and trying to find books that created interest, and just trying to get information and knowledge that way. And so if I can be somebody that can pass knowledge down and give somebody a shortcut and help them learn from what I've learned, I feel if I'm doing that consistently, I'm doing my job.
That's a big deal.
Effectively.
Yeah.
And so creative block is probably impossible for me to have because I just share a life experience. If I get to a point, I may start telling a story. You know, I might tell
really
a story
good.
about
That's really good.
perseverance, or I may tell a story about grit or determination, or I may tell a story about dealing with success. I may tell a story about not wasting your money or buying something that has meaning regardless of the value.
That's really good. So in order, the antidote to not having creative block, from what I hear you saying, is just tell the truth.
Yeah.
And the truth is extremely creative because your story, your journey, what you've experienced, they need to hear it.
Well,
Do
and
you
it's
have the courage
unique
to tell
to
it?
me, right? And do I have the courage to tell it? Yes, because I care about the recipients.
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
But you're going to have to be vulnerable to tell it.
Which is the number one component of leadership.
Yeah, man.
You find a leader who's not vulnerable, that's not a real leader. That's somebody who's pretending to lead.
I.e., the CEO of this organization sometimes has self-doubt.
Absolutely. And
vulnerable.
sometimes is complacent.
Yeah.
And sometimes I need to see the mountains because I'm sitting there working my ass off and I find that I'm just feeling tired all the time and I just need a change of scenery. Let's see here. Let's go back, just kind of cut back to the point with we're losing, how complacency sets in, and I'll just go over a couple things here and then we'll close it out for the people. So I'm losing and I'm complacent, and that manifests itself as lack of motivation. All right, so if I'm losing and I lack motivation, it's unlikely I'm going to win anytime soon. So when this happens to you and you're sitting there on the stoop, because this is generally when you're on the stoop, generally when this is happening. Life isn't showing you success, and you are motivated to get off the stoop. What I would tell you is you got to start small, and you have to find one win each day. And however small it is, deny yourself one thing. Control your mind.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we get to a point where we're losing because we forget to deny ourselves things that we want. And generally, if the like what you want isn't normally healthy for you. Like at night, it's like, all right, I'm gonna have a drink, and they turn to 6.
Yeah.
Because you wanted it. I wanted 6 drinks.
Sounds like a good idea.
It wasn't healthy for you. But if you say I'm only gonna have one drink, and you stick to only one drink, that's one win to build
a
on,
win.
and we have to start building on those. So if you're lacking motivation and you're on the stoop and you're feeling complacent, find a win you can get.
Start small.
Go for a walk.
Yep.
I'm going to go for a walk every day. Do that. I'm going to do 10 push-ups every day. I'm going to eat one green thing today. If we can do that consistently, we start programming ourselves to win.
Yes,
All right?
I agree.
Another thing would be you lack belief in yourself. And you think things like, I'm a loser. And I'll never be a winner. And I'm probably not capable of doing what they're asking me to do. Which also comes to another term, which is you think about quitting. Okay? Whether you're running and you've decided you're going to run a long place, but you're really out of shape. And this is normal because most people are not in shape. And so that's why exercising for the first time is really, really hard.
Yeah.
Because if you've now exercised and you've lost the programming or the muscle memory, it's really hard to do it again. Which is why people were like, don't ever stop working out. Because starting working out again is very, very hard. I would tell you that, you start lacking belief that you can even do it again or that you'll ever do it again. And the same thing from lack of motivation is the same thing for lack of belief. Start off by doing something small. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be changing the world today. We'll do that later. But if we focus on not eating a bag of chips, even though you want one, that's a small one you can do. Okay?
It is.
And then that feeling of wanting to quit, know this. Everybody wants to quit at some point. LaDrew sitting across from me is achieving more success than he ever has in his life. And I guarantee, whether he'll say it or not, at one point in this organization, he thought maybe I should quit.
Oh, without a doubt.
Everybody, even me.
Without a doubt.
Is this worth it? And I feel like...
Well, I can tell you when it happened.
When?
The mornings, well, it used to be. I'm in shape now, but the mornings used to be so early. I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know if I can, dude, I don't know if I can do this for forever.
Yeah.
This is hard. Maybe I could just go back and be a teacher again. That was easy.
Yeah, I mean,
I damn sure wasn't waking up like this getting after it. You got every time zone in America.
you're on East Coast time,
Yeah, man.
you know.
I have 5:30 meetings, 5:15.
Yep.
You name it.
Yeah,
I'm there.
it's true.
Shit, that's early.
So you think to yourself, maybe this isn't for me again.
Possibly not.
And that feeling right there that you feel on the other side of that is success. That's the gateway to success.
Yeah.
That pain, that self-doubt on the other side of that's right there. There's your gate. And if you open it, go to the other side, you find success. Because at some point you have to tell yourself, oh, that's bullshit. I can do this. And I'm just going to do it. And the more consistently you do it, like I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning, and I have for, God, forever. And I don't even think about it anymore. You know, it's not even something I consider. I don't ever consider not waking up at 5 a.m. You know what I mean? I just do it. And everybody will get to the point, and that to me is like winning. If it's when you get to the point where doing hard things isn't hard anymore.
Yep.
And then if you're doing that, complacency is less likely to fit into your life, and you know, and I think that you know, you're always going to struggle with it, but if you're consistently winning, it's going to be hard for you to be complacent, unless you start buying your own bullshit.
100%.
Yeah.
Job well done. I really like that. And you inspired me to go get golf lessons because I suck at golf right now.
Yes.
But I'm not going to, I can get better.
Golf is the perfect example of...
I'm terrible.
It's like a microcosm of life because it is hard as hell to be good at golf.
I lost 7 balls the last time I played.
And how many holes did you play?
9.
It was a ball a hole, an all-time record.
God, it was an all-time record.
An all-time record. And like, you know what it makes you want to do?
Quit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe golf isn't my sport.
Yeah.
Life always is going to give you these challenges to see how. It's just challenge you to see how much you want it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is. Let's just call it what it is, Nathan. If you want to quit, it's challenging to see if you want it or not. Do you really want to be successful? You just say you do.
Yeah. It'll test you.
And will you rise or will you fall?
All right, people, you heard it there. Get off the stoop.
Get off the stoop.